What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 130 of the Tastecast, our weekly podcast where we talk about things, react to things, do a bunch of random shit. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
And a couple quick reminders to download and play Just Cause 4, Rocket Arena, and Worms Rumble, all offered on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back at the end of this month for Plus Club. Let us know what you thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of them. And our game of the month picked by you guys is Smite, which is a free-to-play third-person action MOBA. Make sure to download that, play that. It's free to play, and come back at the end of this month to talk about that as well on Game of the Month. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us in audio form. And we have a Patreon link down below as well if you'd like to support the channel further than liking, commenting, and sharing this video, and subscribing if you're new. And you can type in hashtag ASKTLG on your comment if you'd like to be considered on our segment on Tastecast, which is this show where we read your comments and reply to them. So make sure to type in hashtag ASKTLG on your comment if you'd like us to read it on the show. All right, Tastecast. We haven't done one in like a month, apparently. It's been a very busy, hectic last month with a lot of TLG reacts in preparation for Cyberpunk coming out very soon, right around the corner. We haven't got a delay yet, which is a good thing. It'd be crazy if we got a delay like right, I'm going to jinx it, right like the day before release.
It's 2020, man.
That's not game's like a couple days out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best.
Tempting fates, y'all.
I did get a confirmation saying that not only am I getting my collector's edition, they've taken my money and it's shipped. So I will be doing an unboxing of that, which will be pretty cool to do. But it's going to be here Friday, and I'm buying it on PC, so I'll be playing it
Wednesday when you get home from work.
as soon as possible, and then I'll be doing the unboxing for this weekend. So look forward to that. Tastecast. Go ahead.
I was just say also that's twice that GameStop's online purchasing was wonky for you. So
Yeah. But they haven't canceled shit for me, and a lot of people who bought like PS5s and all that shit, people in the UK getting fucking kitchen fucking appliances and stuff like that when they order PS5s, I've got what I ordered. So, this year's kind of weird, specifically when it comes to shipping and all sorts of shit. So,
I know.
I can look past it as long as I get what I want. It's just a little inconveniencing when they essentially told me they had canceled my pre-order, and then they're like, by the way, it's on its way. And I'm like, is it? Like, I've been sitting here for like 2 months fucking wondering if I was getting that at all. So I even sent them a request seeing if like I get info on that. I never got a response. Never heard from them. Horrible customer service. Anyway, it's Tastecast. We typically start with what we've been playing, but before we do that, I want to jump into game releases. Every first Tastecast of the month, we do game releases. We talk about what's coming out, talk about our anticipation for those games, and whatever the opposite of anticipation is for games that we don't want. So I'm going to read this. We're going to talk about it, and then we will, discuss this. All right, so jumping in. December 1st, we got Chronos Before the Ashes coming out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Empire of Sin for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And also Twin Mirror, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. December 2nd, we got Sam and Max Save the World on Switch and PC. December 3rd, Immortals Phoenix Rising came out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I think it's also on like Stadia and all that other shit too. But that's not worth really mentioning, I guess. I made a big mistake. December 4th, we got Dragon Quest 11 S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition, PS4, Xbox One, PC. I think it's also on Game Pass, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Did you post that?
And that was the one that came out on Switch that had the 2D mode.
Yeah.
But it's also a Switch port, so it looks like a Switch game on the systems you mentioned as well. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Also on December 4th, we got FIFA 21 came out on PS5, Xbox Series XS, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light Switch, also December 4th. Fitness Boxing 2 Rhythm and Exercise Switch, John Wick Hex came out on Xbox One and Switch. Madden NFL 21 came out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and then Call of the Sea, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. On December 8th, we got Doom Eternal coming out on Switch, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, not S, apparently. Xbox One, Switch, and PC. This is getting so hard to say because there's so many consoles right now just in play. December 9th, we got Ghost Runner for the Switch. And then December 11th, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond for PC. I didn't know that was coming out so soon. And then December 15th, Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend for Switch. What is that?
I'm not sure. Also, they didn't mention Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, December 10th. PS4, Xbox One, PC. Their whole... See, they got everything that we just read here, but they didn't put Cyberpunk in that list for some reason. But luckily, everybody who watches the show knows that Cyberpunk is coming out December 10th. And yeah, PS4, Xbox One, PC, not PS5, and not Xbox...
XS.
the old Xbox XS. All right. That's the games coming out. What games are we looking forward to? What games do we not give a shit about? And anything in between.
First off, I didn't know there was another Fire Emblem. So
yeah, it's whatever this is. It looks like an old Fire Emblem.
okay. For some reason I thought like a new one came out, and I was like, wait a minute. So okay. Interesting. I'm kind of curious about that, but I don't have time for Fire Emblem right now.
No one does. Wow, this ad's like 30 seconds long. Fuck you. That's not an ad anymore.
Kind of curious about the Dragon Quest one, just because I like the idea of maybe playing the game like an old school 2D game. But I still got to beat like the game itself. So I'll probably wait on that one as well. I do have an interest as well in Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I played a demo of the first one and really liked it. And at this point, since there's a second one now, I probably just, if I was going to buy it, get the second one. And then can you scroll down for me, please?
Yeah.
And then curious what Collection of Saga Final Fantasy Legend is, because I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
The Saga Final Fantasy game is literally Final Fantasy Legends 1, 2, and 3, which is the beginning of the Saga series of games. So like Romancing Saga, Saga Frontier, it's the first 3.
Oh, cool. That'd be something I'd probably pick up down the road as well. But the one game that I'm sure is a big surprise that I am buying or have bought is Cyberpunk. So that's it.
It'd be weird if you're like, yeah, I'm not really too interested in that one.
Yeah.
It's overhyped, bro. Overhyped.
Get that preloaded as of sometime today. So
yeah, I need to do that myself. Okay, of course I'm hyped and getting Cyberpunk 2077. I got my collector's edition coming, and then I will also be buying it on PC. My collector's edition is PS4 because it's the only one I can get my hands on. So I just wanted the swag that comes with it, essentially. And I'll have it for PS4. So when the PS5 update comes out, I'll play on there, be able to talk about it. But I will be playing on PC because I want to have that experience at the best graphics, but also a game like that, first-person perspective. I want to play with mouse and keyboard. Very excited for that game. Obviously, I don't have to say that. Immortals Phoenix Rising. Every time I see it, I'm wondering who that game's for, because everyone I talk to, nobody's interested in it. But it's been getting decent reviews. The only reason I'm bringing it up is like I don't know if I should pick that game up or not. I mean, I probably shouldn't, because obviously it doesn't sound like I'm too interested in it. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I gotta know.
You don't got time to play it right now anyways.
This is true. Okay, you convinced me. I'm not gonna buy it. Sorry, Ubisoft. You got plenty of money. This is a weird one, but I kind of want to pick up Fitness Boxing 2 Rhythm and Exercise because I have the first one on Switch and it's really fun. So I would probably pick that up. I'm not gonna get it like day one while it's already out, but like I'm not gonna run out and buy that ASAP. But first one's kind of neat. It's cool to play a rhythm game that involves your hands punching shit like that, although you need some room because you'll fucking deck through some shit. Oddly enough, there's not a whole lot, which is actually great. There's not a whole lot this month, but this is also the month that we've been joking but also serious about everyone vacating. There's a bunch of games that are supposed to come out in December, and then they're like, abandon ship, get the fuck out of here because Cyberpunk's dropping. So that probably explains a lot here. But lastly, December 11th, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. I believe that's a VR game, and very excited for that. So I will be picking that up as well. don't know if I'll be playing it the 11th. It's the day after Cyberpunk, but I will get around to playing that. But that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to this month.
Yeah, I watched a little bit about Immortals Phoenix Rising, so I'm kind of interested in that, but it's more of like a Breath of the Wild game, so it's a polite interest. Beyond that, I mean, Collections of Saga, I'm intrigued by it, but I probably won't get it because it's an old Game Boy game from like 1989. So
Yeah.
the nostalgia factor of being extremely frustrated on how to play the game would be there, but that's about it. And I haven't bought Cyberpunk yet, so there's that too.
Still got time. Plenty of time.
I mean, I'm only gonna buy digital. I'm not gonna buy any CDs or anything like that for it, so it's forever.
Yeah, just bought it on
there.
Steam.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I want to buy it for PC. I'm just buying it digitally so I can play it ASAP. Like I said, the collection is because it comes with the motorcycle and all that shit. So, on that, I just want to fucking play the game. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else? It was very fucking short and sweet, which is nice because we just did, in case you don't know, a 3-hour episode on Friday where we talked about the Game Awards. So check that out if you want a long sit. I fucking I watched the whole thing just because I watch every episode we put out, and went through and did timestamps. There's so many fucking topics we went through. And some of them we talked for like 1 or 2 minutes about, and some of them we talked like 25 minutes about. So it was funny. Make sure to go check out that episode. And also let us know in the comments what games are you interested in picking up this month. I'm sure most of you are excited for Cyberpunk, but is there anything else coming out this month that you will be picking up? Anything you're just going to straight up fucking make sure not to pick up? Immortals Phoenix Rising, are you excited for that? Like, have you been playing it? Anybody playing that game? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to game releases in December in the comments below. All right, so let's talk about what we typically talk about at the beginning of every Taste-Cast, what we've been playing. And my list is really short, so I'll go first.
Okay.
Because I've been doing that rare thing for me where I've been playing one game lately, which is always great. I always love when that happens for me. But before I talk about that game, I played Rocket Arena a little bit. I'm going to play it some more. So come back at the end of the month. We'll talk about that on Plus Club. Also played or tried to play Worms Rumble. Let's talk about it now. I fucking did the tutorial in Worms Rumble and then tried to join a game. Game crashed. Uh-oh. Then I started the game again. Tried to join a game. It loaded, I'm not joking, for over 20 minutes. It was just loading. So I was like, I'll come back later and see if I can play this.
Was that on your PS4 or your PS5?
PS4.
Okay.
So that's a good point. I should download the PS5 and see how it does there. So I am attempting to play that game. When I do, we'll talk about it on Plus Club. If I can't play it, you'll definitely hear about that as well on Plus Club because that will go into my grade. Been playing Strange Brigade. That was on sale on Steam for like $9 when it originally came out. It was like a $60 full price game. It's made by the same people who make, I think it's Rebellion. They make Sniper Elite. They make Sniper Elite Zombie Army, whatever the hell. This is very similar to those games. It's a third-person shooter, 4-player co-op, but it's like ancient Egypt exploration, Indiana Jones style type game. It's got a narrator that's constantly talking like, "Oh, good find, old chap," like fucking that kind of like dorky shit. But it's actually kind of charming. I like it. Kind of reminds me of the Indiana Jones ride. All the videos that are playing when you're getting ready to go on it at Disneyland. But the game's really fun. I played it by myself. I played it with Cody, and it's a third-person shooter, but there's like in every level puzzles. That was kind of cool when I played it by myself, and then I played with Cody. There was puzzles that like you obviously have to be able to do by yourself, but when he was playing with me, we both had to interact with the puzzle. So that's cool that it kind of changes it up like that. But some of the puzzles are just like you got to go find some symbols in a part of the map and then relay those symbols to somebody else who has to shoot these pieces of the symbols on a door to open it, and inside there's treasure and money, stuff like that. And then other ones that are like pretty rudimentary, standard ass, like it's point A and point B, and then there's a bunch of pipe pieces you have to rotate to get it to connect. Okay. Simple stuff like that, but it's kind of neat because it kind of breaks up the monotony of it just being a shooter. Has boss battles, like at the end you have to fight a boss, which is fun. And and a lot of secret stuff. There's like doors that are kind of hidden you got to find and like break into, and every level has like collectibles and stuff like that if you collect all like these cat statues, there's a door at the end of the level that will open if you have all of them to give you extra treasure. And then you use treasure to buy new weapons and gear and stuff like that. And then there's gems you get in the game to upgrade your weapons to give them weird powers like fire damage, ricochet, stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's pretty fun. For $9, I'm actually really happy with it. So I originally wanted to pick it up when it came out, but I was like, I don't know if that's good. And $60. And then like when I looked up things, people were like, it's pretty fun. It just doesn't have the content to really merit $60. So I was like, I'll wait. It went on sale for $9. I was like, that's the perfect price. So I picked it up, and I really like it. So I would definitely recommend it at a decent price. I think standard, it's like $50. I don't know if I would recommend people pick it up for $50, but on a sale, absolutely. So if you're curious about that game, definitely check it out. And then for the last week, I've been playing pretty much nonstop. I think I have like 42 hours or some shit in it. Dead by Daylight. I got back into that. If you haven't been following the channel for very long, I had a stint when we got Dead by Daylight on PlayStation Plus, where I played the shit out of it, bought some DLCs on PS4, and then it was also on sale on Steam. Bought that for I think $8, and then no, it's $8 on sale, but there was there's like a Silent Hill bundle for $25. So you got 4 DLCs, one of them being the Silent Hill one in the game. I bought that, and then I bought all the DLCs. So I spent like $90 something on Dead by Daylight. But yeah, well, my mentality is I was like, if I get really into this again, I want all the DLCs, and they're all on sale right now. So even though it's gonna be $90 now, if I don't buy them all right now, this is just how my brain was telling me to do this. I'm gonna have to spend more later. So I just did it all. I just got it all fucking knocked out. And I mean, so far it's been worth it because, like I said, in a week I've put about 40 hours into the game already, and that's me, going to work, coming home, staying up late playing this fucking game. I fucking love Dead by Daylight. I forgot how much I enjoy this game. I mean, super into it before. I'm super into it now. I prefer playing survivors over killers, but I like playing killer as well. Been leveling Nia, Claudette, Detective Tap, and there's a 4th person. I'm trying to get them all leveled up so I can get their perks for everybody. If anyone plays the game, you're familiar with what I'm talking about. And yeah, been having a lot of fun with that. Played with Cody quite a bit now. He also picked it up. I want to get like 4 people to play together so we can always play together and like have a strategy and just completely wreck the fucking killer. Just piss off everybody we play against. Haven't had that happen yet, but me and Cody are doing pretty decent. It's kind of annoying though, because in that game, if you get in there and you're with somebody who's like not really pulling their own weight, it can really fuck the whole team. So also if you're playing Dead by Daylight and someone gets thrown on a hook and the killer is like 10 feet away, don't run up and get them off the hook instantly. That shit drives me fucking nuts. I get hooked and I see a guy running. I'm like, no, don't touch me. Don't touch me. And then they come over and they're like, ugh. And I'm like, I appreciate they're coming to help me. I really do. But then the killer runs over and goes, boom, knocks me down and puts me back on the hook. And now I'm in a struggle state. And I'm like, oh, man, that was avoidable. It's so annoying. So annoying. I hate it. That game's so full of like tactics, and like the more you play it, the more you learn how to play it anyway. And like you can tell some people are like brand new or don't play, I guess, very competitively, and you can just tell in the way that they fucking do shit.
The game also seems to go in waves for people too, because I've seen people stream it and then like not hear about it, and then recently I have seen people streaming it again. So
yeah, new DLC just came out. I forgot what it's called, but essentially it introduced the twins, which is a new killer that's this really dorky looking dude with a little baby coming out of his chest. And the little baby can jump out and run around going, and jump on people. And he starts screaming the whole time while the baby's on you. Then the guy come up and fucking, take you out. It's pretty interesting. But it does kind of go in waves for sure, because a game like this, for multiple reasons, content-wise, but also people get unhappy with some of the updates. They kind of nerf some people and shit. And people get pissed, and then they fix some of the problems. People come back and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting.
For sure.
But yeah, it's been cool to come back to it. It's a game I really enjoy playing. I think I'm ranked 12 right now. Cody got to rank 17, so we're moving on up. You start at 20, and then the better you do, the lower you go, and the worse you do, the higher you go. And yeah, although this kind of sucks, I hit rank 12, and all of a sudden I couldn't get into matches. And I looked up online, and people were like, it's funny. One of the guys was like, I just hit rank 12, I can't get into matches, and I was like, that's weird. And I guess there's just like such an abundance of people playing Survivor and not enough people playing Killer that you're waiting for somebody to play Killer. And especially the higher the rank you go, because other people are playing as well, so they're also higher rank or lower rank technically. So that kind of sucked.
So they need to find a way to incentivize people to play Killer.
Well, all my dailies are typically Killer shit too, so I feel like they're trying to, but they got to figure that out. When I was looking into it, people were saying like, stop nerfing the Killers and fucking make it fun for people, and maybe they will. And I'm like, it's so easy to be like, when I play Killer, I fucking wreck everybody. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know how you fix it. They should find a way to incentivize it. Maybe add extra blood points, like a bonus to blood points earned when you play as Killer. Because yeah, that's a real fucking problem. It kind of sucks. And to test the theory, when me and Cody were trying to get into a match, I hopped over to Killer real quick, hit ready up, or find a match, and I instantly got in one.
Pop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I felt really bad because those 4 people were probably waiting just as long as me and Cody to get into a match, and I left. They all readied up. I'm like, all right, works. And I left. They're probably like, God fucking damn it. So, but yeah, that's what I've been playing. Been playing primarily a lot of Dead by Daylight, and I look forward to playing more Strange Brigade, hopefully with people. I look forward to playing more Dead by Daylight. Hopefully we can get a whole fucking team. That'd be dope. I know Sarah picked it up as well, so that's 3 people. Just need a 4th. So if anybody plays Dead by Daylight on PC, let me know. And well, I guess it's crossplay, so it doesn't matter what you're
it's on Game Pass too.
Yeah, that's cool. So, how's that work with DLC? You have to probably still buy the DLCs?
No, you don't have access to those characters if you don't have the DLC.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You're talking about like playing matches with people who have the DLC, and if you don't have the DLC?
No. I'm not talking about playing with people. I'm saying, like, do you still have to purchase the DLCs on Game Pass, which I'm assuming you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you just get the base game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. But yeah, and then if I can just throw out there, can't wait to play Cyberpunk. Once it comes out, I'm not playing anything else. So, all right.
Yeah. Cyberpunk, and I also got a patch for 14 coming out, so I'm kind of screwed right now. So yeah, I also kind of dabbled with some of the games that we're supposed to be playing. So I played the tutorial of Worms. I need to play more and actually play a match. I just want to get in there, get a feel for the controls. Then I realized it just because it wasn't really in the mood, so I shut it off.
Did you play it? Did you play a match?
No, just the tutorial. Just the tutorial.
You didn't even attempt a match? Hopefully you can get into one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When you brought that up, that's why I was like, because like I didn't even get a chance to try it yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna have the same problem or not. I played. I can't remember the name of this game ever. The other Plus game with rockets in it.
Rocket Arena.
Yeah.
Rocket League.
Played that. Not to speak too much, obviously, because we got to talk about it at the end of the month. But I played a little bit with Chris and a community member.
You know what's interesting about that game? You look at it, and it's like a 3v3. And I'm not going to talk about my opinion on this. I'm just throwing it out there for anybody who maybe hasn't downloaded it. Maybe you're thinking like, I don't know if I should download that. It's essentially a third person shooter that's also Smash Brothers. I didn't know it was Smash Brothers. It's literally Smash Bros. Because everyone has a gauge that builds up, and then you hit them and they go out of the arena. It's like I was like, whoa, that's fucking kind of a crazy idea. I don't know why nobody else has tried that in a 3D perspective yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's interesting.
I think we played enough to where we did every match. Couldn't do every game mode because the game has very restrictive multiplayer settings.
I saw that.
So
yeah,
I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Played Smite, also with Chris and the same community member. I would like to get a whole group together because it does have full bot modes in it, and
not real people.
I mean, you can play with real people, so I think we got queued up with a couple real people for the bot mode.
No, I mean fucking fight against real people.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that now. Someone else can do that and report in about it.
I will.
Last thing I need to do is hop in a MOBA, be in the wrong lane, and get chewed out.
It'll happen.
Yeah, exactly.
MOBAs are so unwelcoming.
Let's see. That was the 3+ games of the game of the month, or did I miss one? Worms. Oh, I have not played Just Cause 4 yet. That's
Me
the
neither.
one I'm missing, so I need to play that. Outside of that, I can't remember everything I've played since the last Tasty Cast, so I'm only going to do ones I can recently remember.
Yeah, don't go over the last month of games you've played.
Yeah. The only one I do want to bring up, and I think I might have brought up last Taste Cast, so in case I didn't, there's a little indie game I picked up called Passepartout. I don't do French accent, but it's a game where you basically run you're a guy who tries to sell paintings, and you start in a garage, and then you actually like physically paint the paintings, and people will come up and try to buy them. And then eventually a critic will show up, and you become more famous, and you get to go to a bigger studio and eventually, you get through the whole thing or whatever. So it's a really fun game. It's really like a really easy, how do I word this, like storefront game. I don't know, like a good example. Another one right now off the top of my head, I guess Moonlighter kind of has stuff like that, but it's neat just because you're actually drawing, right? So, and I think it also supports like tablets. So if you have like a Wacom tablet or something like that, it's kind of a neat way to like want to play a video game but also draw at the same time type of thing. It's not like an in-depth thing, and it's not like Photoshop or anything like that, but it's neat. Outside of that, I played a lot of Minecraft lately.
That's pretty much all you've been playing. You've been playing that you've been playing it more than I've been playing Dead by Daylight.
Well, it's real easy to do because you just start digging, and all of a sudden 5 hours goes by. So,
Yep.
I went ahead and I'm paying for a private server so that I can not have to run it off my computer. I can shut my computer off if I want to.
And private servers are so much cheaper than they used to be.
They are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
It's less than $10 a month. I'm not going to disclose the exact amount, but less than $10 a month. And then I don't have to worry about it, and it's FTP based, so if I need to shut the server off, I can still take my files before I cancel my service, so I still have the server. Yeah. Also, it gave me a reason to use my 3080 because I got some really, really nice shaders for the game, and my 3080 the fans just start screaming when I play Minecraft now, but that game should not look that good. I showed you. You got to see. And I think I sent... Did I stream it to you? Is that what it was? Yeah. So,
No, I saw screenshots.
Yeah, it's ridiculous what people can do with that game.
Yeah, I remember when they first started showing off when some of the early RTX games, the ray tracing games came out. Minecraft, for some reason, was one of them, and they showed off like lighting on the walls and stuff like that from water, and it's so weird to fucking see that. And then watching you play it like that, I was just like, it's a really weird thing to look at a game that looks that minimal. I don't even want to say the game looks bad, because it's just it owns how it looks. But seeing a game that looks that minimal look that good is a really it fucking melts my brain, because I'm like, it's not a good looking game, but this looks next gen.
Yeah.
This looks like it wouldn't run on anything that isn't this. So it's like it's a weird fucking thing to look at. It also made me want to play the game.
Yeah, it's
the way
crazy.
that looks.
One, there's like, 4 different groups that make like the most like common just like shaders. I know there's also like packs that will completely change it. Like if you want to look like, Borderlands, for example, and stuff like that, which I'm not really interested in. I wanted it to still look like Minecraft, but graphically intensive, and that's kind of what I went for. Minus the water, because the water just looks amazing. So, yeah. That's been mostly what I've been doing. It's all like kind of wanted to do. I think it's just because you can just kind of chill and play Minecraft. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I can just not think. I can come home, I can wind down, I can just kind of do that. And in anticipation of playing two things that are going to suck up all my time, it's been kind of a nice, like, relaxing experience.
It's funny because I'm playing. This is weird because they're not the same at all. That's the reason I'm playing Dead by Daylight right now. I can literally, and me and Cody were on the same page. He kind of brought it up because this is the way I already think anyway. But he kind of brought up. He's like, I can keep playing this game. I'm like, I know, dude. Like once I start the game, I can just play it infinitely until I'm like, I need to go to bed. Mm-hmm. The way it's set up, the way progression works, stuff like that. But it's also a game like there's a little bit of muscle memory in it once you play it long enough. And I have I played the game a lot back when we originally played it, and so a lot of it is kind of just like, it sounds stupid, but it's all pretty passive when I play it. So I'll like listen to a podcast for like 3 hours while I play Dead by Daylight. Obviously, I have Dead by Daylight up higher in volume so I can hear all the fucking skill check cues and shit like that. But I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm just kind of like playing a game passively while I'm anticipating, Cyberpunk, essentially. Right now, it's hard for me to fathom playing something I can dedicate real time to that has like a single player story that I need to get through. I need to play, like, that's why I'm playing a game. It's like I can quit playing at any time because,
right.
I'm not like halfway through the story or something.
It's not a narrative,
if that makes sense.
For sure. And that's definitely been like my thing with Minecraft. Plus, it's been really nice. Like, like if Chris hops on, it's something we can just kind of like hang out and do. Mm-hmm. It's not like, if we're playing 14 and we decide to raid and all of a sudden, like, we're not really hanging out. We're playing together and not really talking a lot because you have to concentrate. Minecraft, we could just be sitting there, something stupid could happen, we would just both be laughing about it or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just,
well, back in
the game's timeless, man.
100%. I told somebody that we had Minecraft on our game of the month fucking list, and they're like, Minecraft? I'm like, yeah, I could always play that game. I don't go out of my way to play it, but like I could easily, like, if I start playing again, like it's like you said, it's timeless.
They're still updating it too, so I mean, like, it's not like the game just got abandoned. So I don't know. Even if they stopped right now, it has plenty of stuff to do. Unless you're just like, well, I beat the bosses in the game, I'm done.
Well, like you were saying too, like it's a good chill game, and I think I was trying to allude to this, but like back in like the old days when we had like the old servers we used to have, where I built some crazy fucking monstrosities, we had like 8 to 12 people on there sometimes, and like it was cool because sometimes you're not even talking to each other, and other times you are talking to each other. Everybody's just kind of doing their own thing, and it's like pretty much like a big ass fucking, not chat room, but like just a hangout sesh.
For sure.
Because the game has like a casual quality to it. If you're playing it the way it's originally meant to be played, there's a survival element to it, but once you conquer that, it's not. That's gone.
Yeah.
So it's more so about just kind of like doing, I don't want to say monotonous tasks, but doing tasks and breaking things down and building shit, and that makes time fly by. And when you're talking with friends and hanging out,
well, it's funny too because, and for anyone who hasn't played in a long time, they've really streamlined a lot of stuff, and it still takes a long time. So it's pretty crazy. Like, used to like have to remember all the recipes, right? And so you'd have to like constantly drag everything in. Now there's a recipe book. So you just click on it, and it just throws the things. If they're in the inventory, it just throws it in the crafting box for you.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, if you want to make multiple of something, like let's say I'm trying to make glass and I have like a stack of sand, if you just click and hold when you make the circle for the sand, it'll literally just evenly split it into those spots and give you the maximum amount of stacks without you having to go click. So you just click and drag real quick and it fills it up.
That's cool. That's interesting that they got rid of the like memorizing patterns to craft. That was one thing I loved about the early version, but that it sounds kind of weird, but like once you kind of have memorized certain ones, that charm of that kind of goes away. So at this point in its life as a game, it makes sense that they would just kind of like streamline it.
Yeah, and if you haven't like discovered the recipe, if you still know how to do it, you can still make it, and then it just puts it in your crafting book at that point. They also made it to where like if you want to get your stuff back, or if like let's say you have like a couple of half stacks something, if you just double click on it, it just goes and sucks them together. So lots of things to just speed up the process. So
quality of life stuff.
And it all, of course, it doesn't really tell you, but once you figure it out, It's super nice. So, anyways, I can prattle on about this for a while. I played a lot of that, and then the other thing I've been playing as of today, I'm trying to finish Final Fantasy VII. So, I got 3 chapters knocked out today so far. I got 4 more to go, and I'm done. So,
Getting there.
yeah.
I need to play more, but I'm running out of fucking time because we'll be doing our game of the year discussion in like a week or 2.
Yeah.
So, very soon.
Yep. So if you got anything to beat, Chris, you better do it.
Not this upcoming weekend, but the one after that is when we'll be doing it. I think. I'll confirm that later.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing though.
All right. I have also been playing the games that Chevy has mentioned me in. So Rocket Arena, Smite. Can't really report on those. Talk about them later. Minecraft. I've been playing a good chunk of Minecraft here and there. But I primarily been spending most of my time playing World of Warcraft lately.
Here's I'm gonna get controversial, real fast. You're playing it right now. I'm starting to see people now that it's been out for a little bit. I'm starting to see people on Twitter report that it was really awesome at first, and now they're bored of it.
I can see where people might get like that because there is a lot of grinding right now.
Okay.
But they're releasing content on a schedule. It's kind of a slower schedule from my experience. Could be wrong. But the raid comes out next week. And then after that, like the hard modes, like the raid comes out, the new mythic dungeon difficulties comes out. They're kind of slowly rolling content out, keeping people at a slower pace instead of just everything all at once.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's also one thing I always hear. Like, I'm not gonna plug him, but a guy I watch for 14 content all the time. He always says, he's like, look, I realize this. You can't please me. I'm never gonna be pleased. So like, he's like, I'm gonna you're gonna give me content. I'm gonna completely devour it, and then I'm gonna have nothing to do. He's like, it's just the way that's just the way it is. And he's like, and a lot of MMO players are like that. He's like, so
Yeah, I only bring it up because it seems kind of fast that people are starting to say that. I'm starting to see that point of view grow on Twitter. I've talked to people personally who kind of agree with that. And I was wondering kind of like where you're at mentally when it comes to that, because the last expansion, even though people now retroactively say they always knew it was going to be bad, and when they played it, they didn't like it. When it was happening, I remember people being stoked for it and hoping it was going to be good, and then they played it, and then they came back like, oh, yeah, it sucks. And so I didn't know if this was another situation like that, or if it's different, or if you're still like really digging it, or if people you're talking to are still really digging it, because you're going to be way more connected with those kind of people than me, because I don't play WoW. So,
I mean, I'm still really into it. There's plenty for me to do, keep myself occupied. It does help that I'm in a raiding guild, so I gotta get prepped for raid next week. So I'm kind of getting gear and doing stuff like that. But I've talked to other people who like took big gaps from playing WoW, and they're back and they're really enjoying it. They say it's better than, well, they always say it's better than last expansion, but they said they're really enjoying it this time around so far.
that's cool.
Time will tell, as with everything.
Oh, yeah.
But so far, I like the theme of it. I like the gameplay of it. They've kind of added back some more of the skills from before. They did a little less pruning, so it's a little more involved. But it's enjoyable. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool to hear. I'm glad that people are a little more definite about their opinion on this one than the last one.
I definitely love it. I think it's my favorite one so far.
It's quite the claim. That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
a lot of fun. So that's all I've been really playing. I mean, I could go gosh on and on about it, but I mean,
I saw you play something else.
Uh-oh, getting called out.
what else did I play?
Diablo 3.
I have played a little bit of Diablo. Nothing. I'm not even max level in that character. It's kind of something I do like when I'm like just kind of like, fuck. I mean, the new season has a different thing about it. The cube. I don't know if you know what the cube is. That you can throw previous weapon like abilities into it. So weapons, offhands, armor type, situation. They added an extra slot to it to make the builds more varied this time around, which is interesting. Changes the game up a lot, really.
Interesting.
I haven't dabbled too much in it.
Diablo 3's been off my radar for so long that when you said Diablo 3, it was almost as if I forgot it existed. It's really weird. I was like, oh yeah, that game.
That game. Yeah.
Still waiting for Diablo 4.
Yep. Yep. That's all I've been playing, to my recollection.
You don't got anything else he's been playing?
No, that's the only thing I saw him play. Only because every once in a while I'll click, because he's got that thing hiding what he's doing. I'll click and see what he's playing, and mostly I'm trying to see if he's playing Minecraft, because if he is, I'll hop in, type of thing.
I just imagine when you're playing games, you're sitting there and fucking his name will pop up in the left corner, bottom left or right corner, and says while he's playing, you're just like, And you pull out a notepad and start going.
Definitely not. I just that one struck a chord for me because like I'm used to like clicking and it either says World of Warcraft or Minecraft, and that's it. And
Chris Craft.
And all of a sudden I saw it say Diablo 3, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a weird one. I would expect Overwatch over that for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't played that in a little while.
I think you also dabbled a little Heroes of the Storm. Maybe that's someone else, but
I play like a game
yeah.
like every other day.
Yeah.
I forgot about that game too. I'm just out of the loop on Blizzard games lately. I need them to release something big and exciting. I guess it could be argued that Shadowlands? Is that the name of it? That's big and exciting, but because I'm not invested in WoW, I can't be. I was telling somebody recently, I was like, I'm fucking jealous. I wish I could be like stoked about this like everyone else, but like I'm so uninvested in WoW that like I'm like, oh, it's cool. I'm glad people are happy, but like I need Blizzard to release like a fucking game, and it would be cool to see. So only got Diablo 4 to look forward to. I think are they working on something else?
I don't know. I don't pay any attention to them. So
yeah.
I didn't even watch the Diablo 4 trailer. So.
It's cool. It's a cool trailer.
It's very pretty.
But I mean, Blizzard does trailers very well. So
yeah.
When people are like, "Oh, the new Blizzard trailer's so good," I just say Blizzard vaguely. They're like, "Oh, Blizzard trailer so good." I'm like, I bet it is. And then I watch them like, "Yep."
Yeah.
There's one thing they've been consistent with since the beginning of their fucking. Well, I guess since they start getting known for that, they've been consistently doing that. So, yeah. Anything else you guys have been playing? Anything you're hoping to play? Cyberpunk.
I'm hoping to actually dive into Hades.
You should do it.
I should.
Yeah,
I need
it's
to.
really fun.
Hoping to play 14.
That too. God. Oh, fuck yeah.
Hoping to play more Dead by Daylight. I'm all about it right now. All right. Let us know in the comments what games have you guys been playing. What do you plan on playing? Are you excited for Cyberpunk? I'm sure you are. Is there other games that you're planning on playing that's not Cyberpunk? And what's some games you'd recommend us play? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. Speaking of Cyberpunk, we have a video to watch. This is... I'm out of focus. That's cool. Cyberpunk. I looked at me and I was like, why am I fucking gone? This is Cyberpunk 2077 photo mode trailer. It's only a 2-minute trailer, but I figure we should watch it since it's
a week old almost.
Getting us hyped for the imminent release of Cyberpunk. This is going to show a photo mode that I haven't watched this yet. Have you?
Nope.
Chris?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to watch it, we're going to talk about it, and hopefully it's in a game like this, hopefully it's a fucking really good photo mode. People are going to, one of the big complaints about Cyberpunk for some people, I don't care, is that the game's not third person. They want to see their character, and you're going to be able to see your character, I think, in cutscenes, they've said. But now there's a photo mode, you will be able to take pictures of your character, which I think will satisfy some people who want to be able to kind of see their character and show off some flair. Maybe share that with people. So I'm glad they've added. It's nothing new that there's a photo mode in any game, but it's a game that I think will satisfy some people and wanting to see their own character. So I'm excited that they've done that. Hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it's Ghost of Tsushima levels good. Any thoughts before we hop into this?
No, I'm not the type to clamor for photo modes. So
You like the one in 14? You were talking about that forever.
G-Pose? That's all right.
See, it's got a whole
different.
name.
That's different.
I still don't use it though.
That's different. I don't know how, but I'll take your word for it.
It's different.
Yeah. I just don't take a lot of pictures of anything.
I don't in video games. I take a lot of pictures in real life. I took 150 today. Yeah. Anything you want to say, Chris, before we watch this? Got it ready?
No. Yep.
All right. Let's watch it in 3, 2, 1, and go. It's interesting to move the character. With how stylistic this game is, though, I feel like the photo mode's gonna be kind of dope.
I'm sure people are going to come up with some pretty neat stuff.
It'd be cool if they did a
for
video
sure, for
thing
sure.
like Ghost of Tsushima did. That's something no one does, and as a person who's into videography, like, I appreciated that. So blew
It's
some
crazy
shit
to have a
up.
character like that. Oh my god! Praise the sun.
Praise the sun. Fucking, it's kind of cool. They kind of set up that picture and then they're able to move the character around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say I like the music and the
so
stylistic
cool.
decisions they're putting in this. It's just a photo mode. I'm like, this is fucking dope.
You mean like they edited a video?
Yeah.
And you could like, if you when you hide the controls, you could make really cool screen saves with your character sitting there and just the background running like that.
I was going to say, this is going to be good for, well, everybody, but like on PC, you can just make wallpapers with your computer.
Yeah, and in a game like this, I would want those wallpapers just because I love Cyberpunk stuff visually. So, I was like Ghost of Tsushima. I actually was taking pictures because I like samurai aesthetic and stuff like that, and there's a lot of really cool features to make stuff look really stylistic. All right, before we talk about this, I'm going to go back through the video and kind of take a glance at some of the stuff we were getting in the options. So it looks like you have camera. It kind of has a symbol next to it. Looks like a cropping tool. Depth of field. So like aperture settings, stuff like that. Pose, effects, which you're going to have like filters and stuff like that. I assume stickers, which we kind of saw in the trailer. And then load and save. They're right now on the pose section. Looks like you have a category. It says action, pose, roundhouse shot to the face, muzzle flash on. So that's kind of cool. You can turn that on and off. Rotation sliders, right, left, character visible, which is kind of important because sometimes you just want like landscape shots, and you want to get your character out of the center of the picture. So that's pretty cool. Then yeah, there we go. In depth of field, you got aperture settings. Hopefully it's legit. I hate it's technically fake aperture, but some games are really bad about simulating it. It fucking drives me nuts. Autofocus, that's interesting to see. Enabled, so you can just turn off depth of field. So essentially, turning up your aperture. Yeah. Then stickers. Looks like you have up to 5 stickers on the picture at once. You can have frames. I'm not sure what the background's doing. Maybe if you're cropping the bottom and top, it'll have like a background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it probably is doing. So that's pretty cool. Add some style and flair to your pictures. Then we got camera type, drone. I'm assuming that's like whether it's going to be like a static shot or a shot from the air, something like that. Presets, I'm not sure exactly what that's doing. Field of view and rotate. Those are pretty simple. I kind of like to see more options there. And then, yeah, in effect, wow, I'm really finding all these pretty easily. In effect, you got exposure, pretty typical. Contrast, highlights, that's an interesting one to see. That kind of reminds me of using Lightroom. Vignette, chromatic aberration, grain, and effect. I'm not sure what that effect is.
It's probably the filters.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Presets, yeah.
Yeah, so you can just turn on or off. Makes sense. And yeah, it's got a pretty typical stuff going on here. Nothing too crazy, but all in all, pretty neat looking. What do we think?
I actually don't think I have a whole lot to say other than what I said when we were going through it, which is it'll be good for making wallpapers and it'll be neat to see what people come up with, because even with my little bit of experience in like 14s, I always I've played around with it a couple times and I make okay screenshots and then I go on Reddit and I'm like, how the hell did you make that? So there's always going to be those people who can just like really manipulate it. So I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, Chris?
Yeah, it's nice to see that the tools are there for people who want to get more creative in their game and show it with everybody, especially at this level of depth. I mean, they could just give you like, here, take a picture, move the camera, tilt it, but they went a little above and beyond with all the controls you have with the depth of field and the effects and things like that. It's nice to see.
Agreed. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to use it quite a bit in this game. I'm typically not a photo mode kind of guy. Just because, most of the games I'm playing that have that, I'm not too worried about my character too much or too worried about the visuals. But like Ghost of Tsushima, I actually had to stop myself from using it because I was wasting so much time in it. It's probably one of the best photo modes I've experienced in a game, and specifically how easy it was to execute. You just hit, I think, like right on the D-pad and just instantly pause the game and put it in photo mode, which made it just so accessible to the point where, like I said, I had to stop pressing that button. Because I'd be like walking by, I'm like, oh, it's a nice tree, and I'm like, boom, and I'm just in photo mode. I'm already fucking working with it. Not like pausing it and going to photo mode or whatever. It's just like, oh, we're already going. It's kind of like having like a fucking point and shoot in your pocket, and you're just like ready to go every time you see something. So hopefully, and not hopefully, this has some. I hope it's not that big a deal if you have to go through menus, but it is for me a deterrent. I'm just gonna keep playing the game. But if it's just like press R1 and all of a sudden you're just taking a picture, it's a little easier for me to do it. So hopefully it's streamlined and easy to hop in and out of. But in a game like this, I feel like I am going to use it quite a bit. And I feel like a lot of people are, just because with how much people are concerned about the idea of not seeing their own character, you're going to want to, because you're being deprived of that, I guess, by playing first person, you're probably going to be hopping into this more often, going like, oh, what does my character look like in this scene? Which is pretty cool. And you get to share it with your friends and hopefully post it onto, well, I guess you can post it on Twitter pretty easily. But I hate how on fucking, at least on PS4, saving pictures is like annoying, because you have to like take the picture, it's on there, and you can either throw it on a USB or you have to send it onto Twitter or send it in a message onto your phone. It's so fucking annoying. I wish there was an easy way to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's just a side tangent. I just fucking
PS5 is exactly the same. So.
Yeah, which is kind of fucking stupid. But other than that, really cool, really excited to try this out, obviously. And so anything else you guys want to say?
A couple days, man.
Yep, it's right around the fucking corner.
In fact, 2 for us here on the West Coast, 4 p.m. So
on Wednesday, 4
p.m.
That's so weird. That's so fucking, I mean, I'm not complaining, but that's so fucking weird.
Yeah, preload starts today, the 7th. So
yeah, I got to get that going. All right, let us know in the comments, what do you guys think about this photo mode? Are you going to use it? Are you not going to use it? Are you one of the people who wanted like a third person mode in this? I'm sure on PC you're going to get that. Somebody's going to mod this game.
For sure.
And are you excited for it? The photo mode, are you not? Do you use photo modes typically? And in what games do you typically use them? Like I said, I don't really use them in games ever, except for in Ghost of Tsushima. And a couple of racing games. Gran Turismo has a really good photo mode, and it always up-reses the graphics for photo mode, so you get like really nice looking fucking shots of cars and stuff like that.
Probably a lot easier because the game's not in motion. They can just go,
exactly.
crank it.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it always looks better in photo mode, and Forza did the same thing, so it makes sense. So yeah, let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. This is a short taste cast, kind of nice. All right, jumping into reading your comments. As always, make sure to type in #AskTLG if you want us to pick your comment to read and reply to. Otherwise, I pick at random. So if you didn't get your comment read, you should type in #AskTLG.
Also, I'm going to bring it up too. When we were doing the community pick game and people who put in hashtags, I saw that game choice instantly. It makes it pop out and it's easier to see. So same with this, like he's saying, if you want it to be in the episode, it's almost impossible to miss when you're scrolling through when there's a hyperlink popping up there. So.
Yeah, for sure. And next year when we do the community pick, I will be more specific and letting people know to put in hashtag or not AskTLG. Put in a hashtag AskTLG if you want your comment to be on the show. For Game of the Month community pick, I'm going to make sure you guys type in hashtag next time, just because they did pop out. They're easier to find. That's on us for not saying that. So I'm just happy people voted at all. So
yeah, and this is an evolving thing. So
for sure, yeah. On that note, we haven't really talked about it. Did you guys prefer the way we did it this year or last year?
This year was less stressful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's because 1 month said 2.
Mm-hmm. I like doing it random though. I liked not knowing what game was going to be Game of the Month.
Yeah, I mean, but I think both work out pretty okay. I think more so, it was a little more fun this year just because more people were involved in it. And also, it'd be good to know what you guys preferred if you were here for both of them, because it is your pick. So obviously, Seth has to be okay with it, but
I do. This is I'm running this bitch. Fucking last year we essentially did it so whoever got the most votes won. Purely competitive. This year it was competitive in the sense to make it into the top 3 you had to be competitive, but if you made in the top 3 anybody could still win. And I liked that because there was an element of surprise for us as well, which goes into in theme into how Game of the Month works for us anyway. So I always
minus 3 months.
Yeah. I always enjoy finding out what we're going to play every month for Game of the Month, and doing it randomly like that. I enjoyed doing it like that as well. It also was fun in the sense that the person who got the second most votes won out of randomness. Yeah. So that was a fun twist.
And 2 years in a row.
Yeah. Yeah, I told him, I was like, but can you get 3 years in a row? And he's like, challenge accepted. So if that happens, though, we're going to get protests. Because I've already had 2 people go like, yeah, he shouldn't be allowed to get the 3rd year. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see if the odds happen like that again. I mean, who am I to fucking say no? It's random.
Yeah, I would say there was RNG this time.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
I was like, he was fucking voting like a motherfucker. So
put the work in.
You gotta,
and it was randomly.
Exactly.
Picked,
you gotta play to win, man. Chris, thoughts on that?
Either way is fine with me, to be honest. I mean, this way it's a little more random, so it's a little more sporadic. I can see pros and cons to both.
For sure. All right. And again, thank you guys for voting. It was really fun. So on that, we talked about Cube World on Game of the Month. We revealed Smite being our Game of the Month picked by the community. And somebody that might or might not have had anything to do with those votes for Smite said, bow down, bitches, lol. That was Psycho Scream. But also said, although I'm in the middle of grinding out my materia in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So yeah, very humble of you to let people know how it is.
I also had to dig that out of YouTube jail for that to show up. And
I still have to go to sort by new first for it to even show up. Otherwise, it's not there because YouTube's really fucking annoying. I think it's because you used the colorful word bitches that YouTube's like, maybe we should hide that.
Channel's not even flagged for children.
Exactly. Every video I'm like, no, it's not for kids.
Every video on YouTube is for children.
Yes.
They had their way, it would be, but
yeah. So yeah, thank you for the comment. And moving over, we got reacting to Cyberpunk 2077 PC PS4 Pro graphics comparison, and can also make a comeback. We talked about those things, and essentially we got a lot of people talking about preparing for Cyberpunk. Tempest DK says, I'm already warming up my 3080 card for the release. Smiley face. Maneki Neko says, I just built a PC for Cyberpunk. I can't effing wait. Desmo Dyson says, love the content. See you at 2K subs. Thank you very much. And we'll see you there as well. We need less than 30 people now to hit 2,000. So make sure to tell people to subscribe. It's very much appreciated. Tom B says, awesome. Like you said, no complaints when I was talking about PS4 graphics compared to PC. I think more than enough previews at this point. Let's get this going. Music straight from a Michael Bay movie. It's because the video I watched that compared it to, whoever made that video decided to put some very dramatic music in it to the point where like I was in the middle talking and I couldn't concentrate because the music's just like dun 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 dun. I'm like, okay, dude, stop. Walter White says, I'm worried about buying a gaming laptop for this game. I'm too stupid to build a computer.
Buy a pre-built computer, then there's a middle ground for you.
Yep. So before we go into other comments, these are kind of all in theme in the sense of, aside from the 2K subs and just being ready for the game, people are, they got their 3080s, people are building PCs for this game. Somebody's even talking about buying a gaming laptop because they need a computer for this game, which is really cool to see. It's interesting to see people who might have been maybe sleeping on PC gaming or buying a brand new card, getting prepped for this game. Like, that's how much of an event Cyberpunk is.
That's just what I did. So
yeah. As for the comment about being too stupid to build a computer, I think people really overestimate how complicated computers. I mean, on a technical level, they're computed, but they're pretty much
They're Legos.
they're Legos at this point. Like, so you could probably watch a video and get a gist of it pretty easily. And there's all sorts of people on the internet who will help you, specifically on Reddit, find components to build a really good computer within your price bracket. I've talked with people on Reddit when I was building my computer.
I say the hardest
just
part,
for second opinions.
The hardest part about building a computer, in my opinion, obviously is going to be different for everybody, but it's just like the wiring. And a lot of that's just like, making sure they're tidy so your airflow is good in your case. So,
Yeah. But aside from that, buying the gaming laptop, it's a decent move for sure. Also, there's no shame in buying pre-built. I think pre-built nowadays is so accessible in the sense that financially it's not insane to buy a pre-built anymore. Back in the day, buying a pre-built was like fucking, you had to invest like $3,000 to get a computer that you could build for maybe $1,000. It's really ridiculous. Nowadays, they have to be competitive with how easy it is to build your own computer. So you can get a really good pre-built computer for a decent price. And some people take pride in building their own computer, and I'm not taking that away from them either. But there's no some people have this like elitist view on like, oh, you didn't build your computer, and it's like, no, fuck, dude, just buy a computer. Who gives a shit? If it plays games you want to play, that's all that fucking matters. So
yeah, and I mean the parts you're getting in a pre-built would be cheaper building it yourself, but you're paying for labor, right?
Yeah.
And if you're worried about building it yourself and the cost is worth it for you to do that, it's your money, man. Like, the end result is still you get a computer to play games on. And if you're comfortable spending that price, who the hell cares what anyone else thinks about it?
And you also get quality assurance in the sense that people who pre-built the computer, it's just going to work.
They tested
Whereas,
it,
even the most competent person who's built a bunch of computers, you always at random points will run into a problem. It happens to everyone. Happens to the best of us. We've all experienced it. And it's kind of nice to just spend the money and get what you spent the money on to work.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of options in PC gaming, which is it's a great time for PC gaming.
Also, on this subject, this game has very forgiving minimum settings. So if you can't afford all the pieces right now, just get what you can. Game will still run, and you can still buy pieces as you're playing it. So,
yeah. Chris, any thoughts on any of these comments?
I have a pre-built PC, and I know how to build PCs. No stigma there. I'm excited as everybody else, except for I don't have a 3080 card. I got my little 1080, and I'm still going to play the game.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't played it yet, but when you look at the system specs requirements, they're pretty
forgiving.
Pretty all over the place. It's good to know that the game is built to be optimized like that. It's a really good sign. So I've played lesser looking games that have worse requirements, so higher requirements.
Fucking Watch Dogs Legion requires a 970 or higher. It's wild.
Yeah, and Watch Dogs Legion doesn't look like Cyberpunk. Although it's not a bad looking game, but it's a pretty okay looking game.
That just tells me optimization was not on the table.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we got a comment from Awesome Skeleton. Says this game is going to be dark. Besides what CD Projekt Red advertises in public, I told myself to don't let their advertising fool me. I read some info on Cyberpunk's past lore, and it surely is a dark future up ahead. And that's why I'm praying we get a dark synthwave, darkwave radio station as well when driving around the dark streets of Cyberpunk 2077. Some developers said there are going to be memorial moments like in Game of Thrones where you might love a certain character but anything can happen, kind of talking about anyone can die, shit can get bleak. I think they've kind of alluded to that in one of the trailers where they showed your buddy fucking shot, which was really interesting because the trailer prior to that showed them just kind of like hanging out or whatever, and in that one it seemed like shit went bad. I hope that they do this. The Witcher 3 had a lot of really mature themes, and death was definitely an option for characters. So specifically if your choices can dictate those kind of things, I think would be very impactful. So I am hoping for a very dark futuristic experience, which I'm sure we're getting.
I'll say they've shown plenty of ice bathtub scenes, which is essentially harvesting body parts. So
yeah. As for synthwave, darkwave, you're speaking my language. I'm hoping we get some banging ass fucking songs as well. And yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I hope it's a dark experience as well. Specifically, like you said, when it comes to like Game of Thrones type stuff. Definitely hoping for that. Chris, any thoughts?
Yeah, I look for a more mature scene in games these days as well, and I'm excited that I anticipate them fully diving into this, especially when I think of Cyberpunk. I haven't ever played the tabletop game, but looking into it, I always imagine there's the high glitzy chrome, the bright shiny chrome, and then there's the really dark, seedy, dismal side that's always associated for me with like cyberpunky-esque themes. So I would hope they dive really deep into that.
Yeah, I feel like they will. Just with their prior projects they've worked on, CD Projekt Red is not opposed to, like, for a while there was like all these claims of every RPG coming out. They're like, this is a dark, mature RPG for adults. And I'm like, well, most of these games are. If there's blood in the game, it's most likely for an adult. What do you mean by adult? And then I played Witcher 3. I'm like, oh, this is like an adult game. There's like sex and nudity and death and like mature themes and stuff like that. And
I would say if it has moments that could potentially make people uncomfortable, then yeah.
Whereas other games, it's just like, there's a lot of killing in this fucking game. This is an adult game. I'm like, yeah, Doom is fucking, you're just murdering shit left and right. Like, we grew up playing that shit in the 90s. That's not
Mortal Kombat.
That's not something worth fucking going like this. You guys ready for this adult themed fucking game? So yeah, CD Projekt Red is one of the only companies out there that's really kind of like made that claim make sense, in my opinion.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, sure, but they don't even really claim that.
They don't word it that way.
Do it. Yeah,
they did like constantly go like, we want people to be uncomfortable playing the game.
Well, specifically, and I kind of alluded to this already, but like Last of Us Part 2, they didn't like say like this is an adult game, but like you play it and like the game takes itself very serious and takes its subject matter very serious, and when you beat it, you're just like, oof, fuck, okay. Okay. Man, that's life, huh? Whereas like a kid, I don't think could really appreciate that. They'd be like, what happened? Why are people dead? So yeah, definitely an adult themed game, but again, in advertising, they're not like, get ready for this adult themed game. They're also just like, Neil Druckmann was so up his own ass about that. He's like, we're trying to make a game that's not fun. And I'm like, well, too bad, 'cause it's fun. Everybody know who played it, enjoyed playing it. So too bad, it's a fun game. I'm sorry that you made shooting people in the head very visceral and disgusting, but also fun. That's your fault. You did that. That's about as far as they went when they're like, this game's not supposed to be fun. It's supposed to destroy you on the inside. That's about as far as they went. Which is actually a little further than saying like, this is an adult themed game. This is like, this game will destroy you emotionally. That should be what it says on the cover of the game.
I don't think you know very many gamers then.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for the comments, everybody. Moving on, we got the Game Awards 2020 nominees. We discussed this recently. This is why this Tasty Cast is an hour long, because that was a 3-hour long episode. You want fucking plenty of tasty, that's a big ass episode. We had a really good conversation there too, so make sure to check that out. On that episode, we got Flapjack, I just want to say the name, Flapjack Daddy Claps, Dummy Thick, Pancake Cheeks, No Syrup, said, hey Seth, why is the quality set to unavailable? I only want to bring this up because maybe sometimes you guys watch the videos, you don't know what's going on. Maybe you're like an early viewer of our videos, which I really appreciate. People who are like, oh, I gotta watch it now. When you upload videos, they have to be processed through YouTube, which takes a while, and then YouTube will release it. And typically, if I upload it at 1080p, it'll release at like 480 at first, and then 720, and then as it processes further, it'll go up to 1080. So if you're watching the video early and you're looking at the quality, like, oh, this looks like shit, it gets better. It's just YouTube sucks at processing. The reason I don't upload at 4K is, first off, the editing of that and the exporting of that is not like double the time. It's way more. But also, the worst part about it is uploading it to YouTube takes forever, and then the processing of YouTube on YouTube's end when it's been uploaded takes forever. And then it releases at like fucking 720, and then like 3 hours later the 4K version is finally like available. So anybody watching it at that point, maybe it's like not even, I don't know, like a lot of people aren't watching it at 4K, so it's like not worth it.
Well, the only way we'd be able to get around that would be to upload them and let them do their thing before releasing them. And we usually, it's
On the
boom, boom, go.
right before,
Yeah.
because I want to be timely with the topics. I don't want to preemptively. We used to shoot Tasty Tuesday like days before Tuesday, and I was like, we got to do this like on the night before Tuesday because I want to be topical. I want to be on the fucking pulse with all the info and shit.
Yeah.
So if we were like, making like skits or something like that, I would preemptively upload them and schedule them and stuff like that. So,
And then they would just instantly,
yeah,
the quality would be available.
but
so.
we don't do that. It's not part of our workflow. So
Seth's workflow.
yeah. I do a lot around here.
I don't deserve any of that credit. So
Chris, you got any thoughts on that? Not that really. I don't know what you would add to that. Yeah, the upload sucks.
Uploading. I hate when I have to upload our videos all the time.
Yeah,
I do think, this off topic a little bit, that
we had time to burn. It's fine.
our ISP is supposed to be releasing a new, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head right now. I think it's like DOCSIS 4.0, which will give more upload availability.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be fucking dope.
I'm going to try to keep my eyes peeled for that. We'll have to buy a new modem, but yeah, I think they're starting to realize that more and more people are not only using the internet, but I think a lot more people are streaming is a big one, and then uploading content online as well. So
yeah, it'd be cool if we could upgrade in a way that we could upload faster. Maybe I could move up to 4K and stuff like that. It'd make more sense to do so, because as of right now, that's got to be a special occasion. When I was like off work for a week because my foot was fucked up, I was fucking around with 4K. Cause like I got plenty of time to fuck around with the shit.
Yeah.
But when I'm working, I don't want to deal with 4K. I don't want to upload all that shit. So
for sure.
Yeah, we got a comment from Awesome Skeleton again saying, "I'm still crossing my fingers that Ghost of Tsushima pulls this off for Game of the Year." I'm actually hearing this quite a bit. In fact, Jeff Keighley does like a player's choice thing, and Ghost of Tsushima is 1 point behind Last of Us. So that kind of is telling.
And that's people who are even just participating in that, because I think that's just a poll.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
player's choice thing. So.
So yeah, there's a lot of people that are hoping for Ghost of Tsushima to win Game of the Year. So it's gonna be a close one. I still think Last of Us is gonna win.
Probably.
And then did you hear about who they chose to play the role of Solid Snake for the upcoming Metal Gear Solid movie? Yeah, Oscar Isaac. We will talk about that in detail on Tasty Tuesday, because I want to put some pictures up that are really good comparisons to kind of get a visual. A lot of people have this idea that like the character should be played by somebody who looks exactly like the character in the game, and I think you should get something close to it. But I care about the performance way more than I care about how much they look like it. Like if you get a person who looks like Solid Snake who sucks at acting, I'd be way more upset than someone who kind of looks like him but plays the role awesome. Oscar Isaac is a great fucking actor. So
I think a lot of people also, sorry,
go ahead.
I think a lot of people also like tend to forget that like the point of acting is to become a role.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not everything has to be a typecast.
Well, and some of the side-by-side stuff that I might show on Tasty Tuesday, if it's still topical by then, of Oscar Isaac next to Solid Snake, it's pretty convincing. It's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
I just don't know voice-wise if he's going to be able to nail it, but Solid Snake's voice evolved over the course of the games anyway. Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 4, Snake sounds different in both those games. And then Big Boss's voice was like David Hayter for a while, and then that changed. So like, as long as you get somebody who has a tonal similarity, maybe a little bit of gruffness, if he's playing the part good and he looks the part, no one's gonna complain. So just some people
Just make him gargle gravel ahead of time. He'll be fine.
They can just do it in post. It doesn't matter.
Metal Gear. I think he's Duke Nukem. But yeah, we'll talk about this more later. But I'm actually stoked about it. And he actually said This is an interesting one. He said, you would probably disagree, but I think Bradley Cooper from American Sniper and the Hangover movies would have been a good choice because he's not that old or young, and he has that look and could work to have Solid Snake's voice to play the role. He plays Rocket Raccoon in the Marvel movies as well, so he can kind of do voices that I didn't think he could do. Like when you hear that, you're like, that's Bradley Cooper.
I don't know who he is, but now I know the voice at least.
and he's a decent actor. I could kind of see it. What? It's funny. I forgot the guy, but the guy plays Jaime Lannister. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? I actually really like him. So many people constantly are always saying he should be a character in video games, to the point where on Twitter somebody's like, "Man, you guys want him to play everyone in every video game, huh?" Because people are like, he should be Joel in The Last of Us. And I'm like, I think Josh Brolin should be Joel in The Last of Us show. But if he played Liquid Snake, I think that'd be fucking sick. I think he'd do a good job as that, because he can play a villain just fine. And he also kind of has like a kind of the look for it if he had the longer hair and shit. But some people were saying they want him to play Solid Snake, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he would be a good Solid Snake. So I think Oscar Isaac is going to do a really good job as long as the direction's good. And
I'll say who's directing it.
The movies he's made are okay, but he made like Kong Skull Island, which was fine. But I do like that he's super fucking dedicated to Metal Gear Solid, and he has close ties with Kojima. And he gets Metal Gear Solid. He's a huge fan of it. So cool. I would rather somebody who has played the games, likes the games, has deep admiration for them.
What, like Warcraft?
Yeah. That just gets the game. I'd rather them make it than some fucking asshole who's like, Metal Gear Solid's a game that people like. Let's just make that. Well, how much like the game should it be? Just make it good enough for everybody to watch. Who cares?
Dude.
Right. So dress them like this, give them a gruff voice, but now we're making Rambo.
Yeah. Just remake Rambo, but make sure the dude looks like Solid Snake. Yeah. That's it. That would be typical. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people who are like, oh man, I hope it's good, or I'm worried it's gonna be bad. I'm at the point where I assume every video game movie is going to be bad, and if I get surprised, dope. Luckily, most of these games already exist and they're already cinematic, and you don't need the movie. Especially with Last of Us, you got the movie. It already exists.
Especially with the amount of actors you hear now saying that games are the future of storytelling.
Sure. So when these movies come out, I hope they're good, but I assume they're not going to be good. And if they're bad, it doesn't upset me, because nothing. It doesn't change anything about Metal Gear Solid. It doesn't change anything about Silent Hill. It doesn't change anything about World of Warcraft. Those already still exist. But if they nail it, cool. I'm glad somebody did it. So it's just a rare thing for somebody to do a good video game movie. The Monster Hunter movie looks fucking awful.
Surprise.
Though the CGI of the monsters, it's neat to see them. On the big screen like that, like fucking rendered and stuff like that. But then you see Mila Jovovich with machine guns out in the desert, Humvees and stuff. I'm like, dude, come on. That dude and Mila Jovovich, they're married. The guy directing it, they made the Resident Evil movies. I swear those motherfuckers just like are just doing like a goddamn pyramid scheme or some shit, just churning out these movies to make a bunch of fucking money. They're like laundering money through these fucking.
I just feel like the dude knows someone at Capcom.
Yeah, maybe he's friends with someone there. And he's like, hey, fucking, let's make a movie. Let's make it happen.
Let me make a bunch of crappy Resident Evil movies, and now let me fuck up Monster Hunter.
The Resident Evil movie is the reason why Resident Evil, the games changed, though. Resident Evil 4 was originally supposed to be like the original Resident Evils, tank controls and shit. And then because the original Resident Evil movie did well, and I think that's because recognition of branding, that's it. I don't think the movies were particularly good, but the original one did really well. And they're like, I think people want more action-y stuff from Resident Evil. And then they changed Resident Evil. So that's really interesting when you look back on that. So he single-handedly changed Resident Evil for a while there. Luckily, we're back to the more horror-themed Resident Evils, which I'm loving. Anyway, that was a bit of all over the place. Any thoughts on Metal Gear Solid movie? Do you know Oscar Isaac, Chris? And any opinions on casting and stuff like that?
No, just a bunch of jokes running through my head. That's all, because I don't know any of these people. I don't even know the Metal Gear Solid story, to be honest. I've never really played them, so it doesn't have a lot of impact on me. I know a lot of people are fans of them, and I'm excited for you who want to see it and whatnot. But all I can think of is Danny DeVito running around as Solid Snake. directed by Danny Elfman for some reason.
If somebody just owned making a bad version of a video game, I would be better with that than someone pretending they're going to make a good movie and making a shit one.
Oh yeah, I could appreciate, especially like you said, if they just like
if it was a Metal Gear Solid parody
no
and Danny
bullshit.
DeVito was dressed up like Solid Snake and he's like 3 feet tall and he's talking like Danny DeVito.
You're getting Spaceballs then.
Yeah, exactly. And I would be like, oh, it's funny. Like,
Exactly.
Like I'd be fine with that, 100%. Chris is essentially proposing a safer fucking mode of making video game movies than what people are doing. Like, look, it's going to be bad anyway. Just make it fucking stupid bad on purpose, and people will fucking be less angry at you.
The only thing I was going to say earlier, Chris, was there are people who have played Metal Gear Solid who probably don't know the story, so it's okay.
Especially Metal Gear Solid 2. I think a lot of people didn't understand what happened there. They're just like, that was crazy.
Do you think Kojima understood what was going on
I think he kind of understood it, or at least what he thought he understood didn't get relayed to the rest of us the way he was hoping. And then he had to accept afterwards, like, I could have probably done that better. And then he did better with every Metal Gear Solid. So that was something, I feel like that was something Kojima had to just get out of his system. I think we're all better for it. I think he's better for it as a person. I think we're all better for it because we have better games from him. And I think as a moment in history, the Earth is better for that game. We learned a lot from each other. All right. Thank you for the comment. And then lastly, we have Amelia saying The Last of Us Part 2 will win. Definitively will win. Though my vote would be for Doom Eternal if I were to vote. My actual game of the year is between Yakuza Like a Dragon and Crusader Kings 3. Thoughts?
You're all over the place.
I'm not going to be definitive, but I think that Last of Us 2 is going to win. I would not be surprised if Ghost of Tsushima also won, just because, like Seth said, you see it all over the internet. People talk about the game a lot. So I think it has a good chance. Also, we have to keep in mind that we only count for like a part of the decision, and they have a jury essentially that does the other decision making too. So
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see for sure. Everyone I know who plays Doom is always in love with it, and I think that's great.
Better than playing Doom and not being in love with it, just hating it.
No, for sure. And one is just funny because we kind of brought up before that you don't really like Doom Eternal like showed up and then like disappeared, but I still occasionally will see a person like pop up and like, "Where's Doom Eternal? It's getting snubbed, blah blah blah," type of thing. And quality game, I'm sure. So
It is for sure.
it's just it's interesting to see that. And then
But real quick, I made a joke about playing a game and hating it, as if that's a ridiculous thing to happen. But I realized I was doing this. I was playing Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War. And I fucking hate that game. And every time someone hit me up like, "Hey, you want to play something?" I'm like, "Well, I'm playing Call of Duty." And they're like, "Why? Don't you hate that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's horrible." And they're like, "Why are you playing it?" I'm like, "I bought it. I
spent money on it.
I need to get my time out of it. I'm gonna prestige. I'm gonna play the single player a little bit. I'm gonna play zombies, and then when I talk shit about it, I will be confident in my shit talk. I'll be like, I know this game's bad. I played it extensively. I paid fucking $60-$70 for it, so I gotta get fucking the time out of it. But it's awful.
Sure.
I hate it. I hate that game. I've played the fuck out of it.
yeah, and then Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm curious about, but I don't have time right now. So, but I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah,
So,
looks
and
awesome.
I have no thoughts on Crusader Kings.
It is a game for people who want to fucking talk shit about Civ.
Okay.
You talk to somebody who plays Crusader Kings and you bring up Civ to them, you're a fucking pleb.
That's okay.
They are an alien that has come to Earth, and you're just to them a monkey that speaks English, and they're like, "Oh, you're simple. That's fine. I'm not explaining to you big brain things."
I'm going to tell you right now, you talk to me like that game's not getting any attention from me. So it's not the kind of community I'd want to be associated with.
It's just funny because every time I talk to somebody about Crusader Kings, and if you bring up any other like strategy type games, they're like, "Oh, that's cute." And I'm like, and Crusader Kings there's quite a bit to it. I tried to play the first one. I was like, I need a week to learn this game. But yeah, I've heard really good things about Crusader Kings 3. I really want to try it, but I need time to invest. I need to take the master class to learn it before I play it.
Yeah.
Chris, thoughts?
Nothing is guaranteed. I would say that ever. I don't care what you say. Nothing is ever guaranteed. And I'm still under the impression that people are upset about The Last of Us. Kind of like some of there was a large contingency of people upset on Twitter for a while, and they've petered off, but they were still upset, and that has to factor in games in voting system. You can't account that not being there. People are vindictive. They could just show up to vote against it.
Or they're not vindictive and they're showing up to vote against it because they don't want to win because they think it's a bad game, which I think is viable as well. I mean, like if you don't like it and you like another game and you want your game to win over the game you think is bad. I mean, if Call of Duty was up for Game of the Year and a game you really like was, and you voted for one because you don't want Call of Duty to win, I mean, I think that's completely fine. But I also defend people's, not liking things as long as they're productive about it. Sometimes people hear someone doesn't like something, they're like, oh, you're just toxic. I'm like, no, they have an opinion. They can dislike things. People dislike The Last of Us, but there's also people who are fucking ridiculous about The Last of Us Part 2. And that's where it gets messy because people are ineloquent in the way that they fucking, express themselves. And a lot of times it's just like, game fucking sucks. And then, some people rattle off some pretty stupid, offensive shit about characters in the game.
You can have opinions or you can meoog.
A lot of people meoog.
A lot of people meoog with their opinions.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Last of Us, I think, is going to win for sure. But I think we're kind of disqualifying a lot of people who are going to maybe try and make sure it doesn't win. But also, Ghost of Tsushima is a really well fucking viewed game. A lot of people are really happy with it. A lot of people like it. And though I don't think it has the same chances of winning as The Last of Us Part 2, if it did win, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like, holy shit, that's crazy. I wouldn't be like, Sekiro won? What the fuck?
Yeah, and I know social media is curated for whoever's on it, but I definitely see people talk about Ghost of Tsushima more than Last of Us 2. So, though I do see a lot of big names saying Last of Us 2 is probably going to win. So,
well, and the full potential of what could have been voting for The Last of Us got split.
Yeah.
A lot of the fans of the original Last of Us are not going to be voting for Last of Us Part 2 because they're not happy with it for whatever reason, whether it's, for good reasons or they're just being assholes about it. That's a factor that no one's really talking about. Ghost of Tsushima, I don't really know a whole lot of people who played it and fucking hated it. I know a couple people have been critical of it, which is fine. But there's not like a big bandwagon of people fucking talking shit about Ghost of Tsushima. It doesn't exist.
No, and I know a lot of people who are trying to get PS4s to play it after they saw it, after it came out too. Yeah. So
there's even people on Xbox who are like going like, ah, God, like that sucks. Fucking, we can't play that. So, yeah, it's one of those games for sure. As for Yakuza Like a Dragon and Crusader Kings 3, I want to play both of them. I think it's more likely I'll play Yakuza Like a Dragon before I play Crusader Kings 3. It is a game I'm definitely going to play. I'll probably pick it up when it's on sale, just not because of like the financial aspect of it, but I have too many games to play right now. I can't give it the time it deserves, and by the time I can, it'll probably be cheaper, which will be win-win for me. So, but it is definitely a game I'm looking forward to playing. So,
yeah.
Yep.
And just to reemphasize, I 80% believe Last of Us Part 2 will win Game of the Year.
Agreed.
But I do think Ghost of Tsushima does have a very good chance to win. I think Last of Us just has a better chance to win.
I also think Legend of Zelda has a good chance of winning, even though it wasn't nominated.
Yeah, always. Zelda can always win.
Always win.
Oh yeah, and as for your vote for Doom Eternal, that's an interesting one. I would be very surprised if Doom Eternal won, but at the same time, I wouldn't be too surprised because people who are into that game fucking love it.
For sure. And I don't know anyone saying anything bad about it.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. It's just the hype train for it tapered off quickly.
Yeah.
I'm sure people playing it are still very happy with it, but it didn't have that resonating, carrying on hype that some games had. Like, Animal Crossing came out, and it's been talked about since it released all year.
Yeah. And people are still trying to buy Switches.
And like the discussion around Last of Us Part 2 has carried on since it released. Whether it's good or bad, it's had a conversation going the whole year. Ghost of Tsushima, mostly just positive things people keep saying. Whenever people talk about like games that came out this year, people are like, Ghost of Tsushima. So these are games that their hype built up and then carried on. So I feel like they got... Doom Eternal. I don't think it's gonna win, but it's cool that you would vote
Unless
for
it pulls a Sekiro.
well, that's what I'm saying. After last year, I'm like, well, I don't know who the fuck's gonna win because games that no one's talking about are fucking won. So, anything else you guys will say?
We will know soon.
We'll know soon.
End of next week that shows up. So.
Yep, and we will be doing a reaction to it, whether we stream it or film it. We'll be watching it and relaying that to you guys because it's something we like to do. Participate in that conversation. All right. Thank you, everybody who commented in the last couple of weeks. I apologize we didn't get all of you. It's been a while since we've done Taste the Cast, but type in hashtag ASKTLG if you want your comment to be read on the show for sure. And that's going to do it for this episode 130 of Tastycast. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. You can check us out on social media, links down below. You can check us out on Discord, link down below as well. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and the podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And we have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further than liking, commenting, and sharing this video around with all the people you'd like to have join the conversation in gaming. And also subscribe if you're new to this channel.
Almost at 2K.
Almost at 2K. And we definitely welcome you guys. We like having these conversations with you every week. And my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until Tasty Tuesday, have a good night, guys, and take it easy.